Proctor360's vision is to be able to make e-learning and distance education just as valid and have the exact same integrity that in-person schooling does. Because if you can get an education anywhere with a reliable internet connection, what we want is for the exams that you take online in order to be credentialed, in order to validate that education, we want that education to have that same integrity. And the only way for the industry and for the people who are going to hire students that have e-learning degrees and credentials that were obtained online, in order for them to trust and respect that learning, just as if you went to an in-person university or training program, let's say, is for the exams that you take to have that integrity as well. They have to be secure. They have to be able to trust that it's an exam you couldn't cheat in order to pass. That's Proctor360's vision, because if we can make that fair, it means that anyone can have access to the knowledge to advance their career, to obtain new degrees, and that's really the vision, let's say. So that's the vision. But from the investor standpoint, you have to ask yourself, okay, how do you make that scale? Can you make it scale, and how do you plan to do that? Well, we always looked at the rest of the industry and what most other proctoring companies have done. They started with the technology and then they sold it as a solution. We didn't do that. Proctor360's founders come from a background of in-person testing and remote proctoring. They come from an academic background. And with the vision that Proctor360 has, what we want, where we started from, is what does this industry need? What does remote proctoring need in order to make distance learning and e-learning a real option for people to advance their careers and gain new skills that are respected by the rest of the industry, that can actually help them improve their lives? What can we do with technology in order to make that better? How can we solve the problems that they face? We started with the problem, and then we used technology to develop a solution. Now, we've already proven over the past couple of years that it's a solution the industry wants. Our biggest problem right now is just that we don't have enough headsets manufactured to meet the demand for schools that are already interested in the 360 Total View service. So we know that it can scale. We know that there's a market for it. But how do we scale it? We actually have a couple of different plans in place for this. For institutional customers, for academic institutions, for community colleges, and even for online universities, if they want to distribute the headsets to their students directly, we can do that. When we sign a contract with the college, we can lease the headsets to them on an annual basis, and they can handle either allowing their students to come to campus, to a testing center, or to a library to check them out, or they can ship them to them. They can develop a process that works with their own existing infrastructure. At the end of the contract, they can return the headsets and they'll be refurbished. But that's only attacking part of the potential market here. The other way that we scale this product is by going after the professional certifications, the licensures, the exams that are not part of an institution where you might already be in geographic proximity to. So how do we make this service available to those customers, those individual students who want to take exams online? There are two things that we can do. If Proctor360 obtains sanction as a proctoring service for a particular certification exam, then the student can actually register for the exam on Proctor360's website. They're shipped a headset a few days in advance. They go through a hardware check to make sure that their computer supports everything correctly. They take the exam using the headset, and then they just return the headset in the included box with an included return shipping label. It's very simple. But we can take that one step further. We'll actually be able to distribute these headsets to public libraries around the country. This now makes Proctor360's Total View service available anywhere. Imagine being able to go to a public library and checking out a headset just like this one, and going to either a private study room at the library or taking the headset home, taking your exam online using the headset, and then returning the headset to the library just as if you were checking out a book. By making some of these headsets available to every public library in the country, now we have the ability to not only Proctor-sanctioned professional certification exams and exams of this nature, but to actually deliver to students all over the country. Wherever you're located, we want you to be able to take a fully secure exam. That's the goal for Proctor360, and we have this distribution model already set up so that we know how we're going to be able to reach more customers as soon as that manufacturing run is in place. I have invested the last couple of years of my life in this company, not only because I believe in the founder's vision, not only because of that, but because I believe that there truly is a demand in the marketplace for this product. Right now, there are so many exams that are struggling to find ways to proctor them remotely and keep the flow of new professionals coming into the marketplace. When they don't trust the existing types of remote proctoring, you can't take the exam remotely. It means that you have to travel to an in-person testing center. These testing centers were already being overrun and above capacity before the pandemic, and now with social distancing guidelines and things like that in place, it's going to be even more difficult. I believe in this product and its ability to meet a very specific need in this industry. And as we scale, it's all a question of exam volume, right? I'm a marketing guy. We have to think about how we're going to go to market and how we're going to reach profitability, how we're going to generate revenue. This business model makes that possible. With Proctor360, we already have that technology. We've already built the platform. We've already built the hardware. It's just about scaling right now. It's absolutely just about growth. Everything is about growth at this point, and it's really an exciting time to be involved with this company because of that. When Proctor360 came up with the idea for the institutional SaaS platform, it really was born out of necessity. When the pandemic hit, suddenly all of the in-person colleges and universities around the country had to close their doors, or at least limit their capacity to an extreme degree. It didn't just mean that all of these students could stay home and do their coursework online. Those infrastructures were set up for going to live in-person exam centers on campuses, going to testing centers to take at least midterms and final exams. These colleges had to be looking for remote proctoring, even if it was something that they never trusted before or were reluctant to adopt. We asked ourselves, and again, this goes back to starting from the right angle. What is the problem and how can we use technology to solve that problem? Not coming up with technology and then figuring out how do we sell it. You have to look at what are the needs of the industry you serve, and how can you create products that meet those needs. When the pandemic hit, we had testing centers with large testing center staff, assessment coordinators, testing administrators, proctors, who were all sidelined. Very important trained professionals who suddenly couldn't be as involved with their students' exam experience as they were before the pandemic. And we said to ourselves, we've built this proprietary cloud-based software platform to proctor exams remotely. Let's take it to the next level. Let's expand that functionality so that it becomes a software as a service solution for testing centers. It's a huge solution for an industry that has really needed it actually for a long time, way before the pandemic. There could have been a lot more exams at in-person colleges, brick and mortar universities that could have been taken online, except that there weren't good software solutions out there. Now, we're giving that credibility back to schools that want to use remote proctoring but haven't trusted the tools that were available before. And it's a tool that we've built to be infinitely scalable right out of the box, to meet our own needs. We know what these testing centers need because our founders have run live testing centers. Reaching out and making it possible to provide remote proctoring to colleges and universities at every level of exam they offer across multiple exam types. This flexible array of options that we have means that we can capture a lot of market share with each university and each college that joins us as a customer.